The very basic question being asked by the buyers, what exactly is the closing cost I would be paying when I purchase a home in Ontario? Coming up in this video. Closing costs generally consist of land transfer tax, real estate lawyer's fee, other expenses, and the cost that you would pay at the time of home purchase. And that's basically in addition to your down payment. In this video, I'm going to cover all that expenses associated with your closing, which generally refers to the closing cost. The very first cost, what you would encounter, the land transfer tax. Now, the land transfer tax is something being charged by the province of Ontario, and it's basically depends on the purchase price. Check with your realtor and your real estate lawyer that what exactly is the tax you are paying in your case. If you live in Toronto, you would have to pay it double. Yes, one would be the land transfer tax for the province of Ontario, and the second would be the municipality land transfer tax. But if you choose to live outside of Toronto, then you will not pay this tax twice. So let me give you an example of what exactly is the land transfer tax you would be paying, and let's take the case of $800,000. I know in this market this price would be a dream, but let's just assume. So let me show you how the land transfer tax works in Ontario. So let's say the purchase price is first $55,000. You would be paying 0.5% of the land transfer tax on that. If the purchase price goes from $55,000 to $250,000, you would be paying 1%. If the purchase price goes from $250,000 to $400,000, you would be paying 1.5%. And if the price goes from $400,000 to $2 million, you would be paying 2%. Now, if the purchase price goes over $2 million, it's going to be 2.5% of that. As I discussed before, specifically in Toronto, you pay the municipal tax and you pay the provincial tax. So in this case, you would be paying the provincial tax of $12,475, and the same would be for the municipal tax. If you are the first-time home buyer, you always can check with your real estate lawyer that if you qualify for that rebate or not. But if you do, then you would get $8,475 rebate. So your total tax comes to $16,475. Let's take the case of rest of Ontario. If you purchase the property for $800,000 anywhere outside of Toronto, you would be paying the provincial tax of $12,475, same as Toronto. And but there is no municipal tax here, so it's just one tax anywhere outside of Toronto. And if again you qualify for the first time home buyer, then outside of Toronto you would get the first time home buyer rebate of $4,000, and your total tax comes up to $8,475. So just to discuss how the Ontario land transfer tax rebate works, so let's say your purchase price for the property is $368,000, you would get the full tax refund. If your property price is over $368,000, then you would get the $4,000 refund for being a first-time home buyer. And just to give you an idea of how the land transfer system works in Ontario and in Toronto, but always and always double check the exact land transfer tax with your real estate lawyer, as the land transfer tax is something that entirely depends on your purchase price. Next cost would be the title insurance. Now, title insurance is basically to protect you from any loss caused by defect in title, non-compliance with municipal bylaws, any encroachment on the neighboring lot. Title insurance also protects you from any debts incurred by the previous owners or unpaid utility bills, property taxes, or the condominium fee. Also, the charges against the property that appears between the time the deeds are signed and the time they are published in the land registry. It's very much recommended and beneficial for you, and it usually costs you between $200 to $500. Next one is lawyer's fee. Lawyers' fee vary from lawyer to lawyer, and depending on what exactly they are offering in their fee. So by being said, it varies from $800 to $1,200, but depending on the purchase price of the property. Always check with your lawyer that what exactly other legal charges are included in their fee, and then take it up from there. The next one would be the home insurance. Home insurance is mandatory, and it generally costs you anywhere between $500 to $1,500. You would pay that price yearly. But again, it depends on the property size and the location of the property. So the bigger the property is, it's gonna be more in the home insurance. Next one is registration of land transfer and transfer of mortgage. Now, this is usually included in the lawyer's fee as I discussed before, but always and always double check with your lawyer that what other legal fee are included in their price. But if they don't cover this, then this usually costs you $80 to $100 each. Next cost associated is mortgage default insurance, or we call CMHC fee. If you are planning to put down less than 20% of the payment for your purchase, then you usually pay to insure your loan amount. Now, this insurance basically varies on how much you are putting down and what exactly is the actual loan amount. Once the loan amount is finalized, then only the insurance amount on this can be calculated. If you plan to put down over 20% or even 20%, then you do not pay for this insurance. Next is the home inspection fee. I know this term is not relevant in today's market, but this term still exists. You still pay for the home inspection fee if required, and if your offer is accepted under that condition. To hire the professional home inspector to check the issues or defect into the property, you would generally pay anywhere around $400 to $500 depending on the area. The next one is property surveys. Your lender and your lawyer may ask you for the property surveys. The general range for the surveys is around $300 to $600, but that again depends on the area and the services provided by different individuals. Alright, so the next one is property appraisal fee. Now, the lenders usually ask for the property appraisal to check the current value of the property, if it's according to the market value or not, and then they can determine on how much of the amount the lender is willing to lend. The cost of the appraiser is somewhere around $300 to $800 depending on the location you are in. The next one is statement of adjustments. Now, this is very important where majority of the first-time home buyers, they do not know this, or either they don't comprehend with this. When you buy a property, it's basically if the seller has prepaid an expense for that property, which you're going to enjoy over the period of time, you will have to reimburse them that money back. Let's take the case of if the seller has prepaid their municipal taxes for the full year and you take the possession of the house, let's say on 1st of August, then you will have to pay back the seller remaining 5 months of the taxes, and the same goes for the condominium fee. Okay, last but not the least, please do not forget to count on the moving cost in the excitement of stepping into your new property. Moving cost, specifically if you're hiring a moving truck or maybe a bunch of moving people, it's definitely gonna add up in there. So look for it and be prepared beforehand. Thank you everyone for checking my video. If you find value in this and if you think this can benefit anyone you know, please do share with them. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, as your support means a lot to me. If you need help with any of your real estate needs in Brampton or in GTA, I'm here to help you guys. If you have any questions, thoughts or comments, they're more than welcome. Please do let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. You can find my details right here and also in the description below. Thank you very much. Talk to you all soon.